Everyone, here's an update on my 73 long wheelbase BMW R75/5. Anyway, it is done. I didn't do the how-to videos. I'm not an expert at this bike. But yeah, I rebuilt it over the weekend. At least the top end. And I've sorted it out. So I guess I'll just go through what I did. So I put refurbished heads on. New valves, valve springs, all the good stuff. And I had Scotty's workshop out in Murphy, California, and he bored out the cylinders. And I used the Wasner pistons first over. It actually had the original pistons after 50 years. I think on this bike, I mentioned in another video that it was just stored. Maybe it was a barn find. Because I think this was just a cosmetic restoration. So what I could see when I scoped the cylinders was the bottom of the bore on the bottom side here. It looked like there was like condensation or something that settled to the bottom, and it rusted the bottom of the cylinders. And then when it was revived, it kind of rubbed the rust off, polished it. But I think this side was worse because it was probably on the side stand leaning, and more condensation just started to drip on that side or accumulate. Anyway, I was getting a lot of blow-by, so I could just see oil in the breather. And when you would just start the engine with the with the cap off, it would blow the oil cap into the orbit. So yeah, it was time for a top end. So while that was out, Scotty took about a month to do that. Great job. He's a fanatic with this stuff, so I wanted my kit to be done by someone who really, takes the time to do it right. So he did that. So in that time, I put new shoes on the back drum because braking on this was marginal. Spoiler alert, much better now. So new rear shoes, and I lubed and kind of did the back. I tightened the spokes. I put a new battery in it, the Odyssey battery. I did do the, which I put this in another video, I put in a new ignition wire and soldered it in with a fuse, and then a new wire that goes to the starter. New spark plug wires. This has a Dyna ignition, so these are NGK wires with a 5k ohm resistor. Underneath the tank, which you can't see, I refurbished the coils. Original coils are still good. I put on a new gauge, new clock, which works fine. I really needed, because I had really good a wobbly tack, wobbly speedometer, no odometer. So I really needed something because there's no gas gauge, to at least know my mileage. So you can see I've been breaking it in. I'm up to 71 miles. See, the bum mirrors were already there. I did take off, from the previous videos, I took off the crash bars. I think they kind of mess up the lines of this bike. This is a minimalist bike. So yeah, I took the crash bars off. They're sitting over here to the left. And I went through the wiring in here into the headlight bucket. Cleaned the fuses. There was a lot of corrosion. Yeah, pretty nasty. It uses the torpedo fuses like my Porsche uses. So I like those. I have plenty of them. And yeah, there was some problems with the wiring. The headlight and things were backwards. This headlight switch, I had to invert some of those things. And then I did the front brake. New front brake shoes, lubed and all that, the way it should be. Properly adjusted arms using that template I found online. And anyway, I took it for a test drive, and I kind of gave it the beans right to start off, but it really still wasn't stopping very good. So yesterday I put on the new brake cable. I'd done the brakes and left the old brake cable. I thought the brake cable was okay, but after I put the new brake cable on it, the braking went from marginal to acceptable. So it actually stops good. Now, my brother has a 2008 Harley Davidson Dyna with the single disc brake. This stops better than that bike. So when people say, "Oh, well, they overlap with some of the drums overlap with stopping power with some of the disc brakes," it's true. So yeah, braking is not an issue now for me. So if you're going to do it, do all of it. So when I took the cable off, and I tried to move it in the sheath, and it was very, very hard to move. So I think I just had a lot of effort used to just get it, just to move the cable through the sheath. And then, the carburetors, this came with the Makunis, whoever did that. And then it had like a wonky, just kind of this area, the way it went. In here, it didn't have any kind of rubber manifold cover there, or, to seal out the air from getting in. So anyway, I just kind of did some work to that. Need to clean up, make that a little more straight. Anyway, the interesting thing on the rebuild of the top end, so I took my time. This side took me a couple hours to do the first one. I had the pistons in the bore just to get it in and get everything adjusted. Was maybe a couple hours. And then once I did that side, literally after my first time, this entire side I had done in less than half an hour. My wife got home from work at 5, and we had dinner at 5:30. I was done by 5:30. So that was pretty cool. But then, the detail work of getting the exhaust on, getting everything straight and nice. Like, these things were loose. I think someone owned it in the past, and, they didn't have good detail and getting the fasteners torqued correctly or lined up correctly. Anyway, I got it all set up nice. You saw the odometer. I put 70 miles on it. I did. So I started it up. I give it the beans right away, not to redline, but I keep pressure on the rings. I like that approach. Just kind of varying RPMs. You kind of give it gas up to maybe 35 or 4,000, let it off. And just keep doing that. I think just idling after a rebuild is not good for the rings, so that I prescribe to just pressurize the cylinders to get those rings to expand, and I've had good luck with that. Anyway, impressions, easy to work on. Everything what people say is true. No plastics, all metal. Very enjoyable bike. Parts availability is excellent. Performance is very good for a vintage bike. It's not going to win a speed contest, but it's really just an enjoyable bike to ride. I know people have done a lot of highway on these. I didn't get it for that, but I may in the future. I don't know. I like having this bike around, and I guess if there's such a thing as a forever bike, these are it. They're really supportable and Stone Age simple. I had, one of my things I had to sort out, I had two things. I had fuel leaking from the other side. So I did put a fuel clip. I don't know if my foot hit it. So I did put a fuel injector clip over here. And I took it out last night, and my clock lights were out. So I just grabbed, clip for that, easily done. And then for this one, I learned that the fuses, the late ones have fuses. The same fuse powers the tail light and the clocks. So I was very quickly and easily able to diagnose it. I found the fuse. I tested the 2 lines coming out of the fuse. One lit that up, and then adding 12 volts didn't light that up. So I just pulled a light bulb, so it was blown bulbs. But I actually did the troubleshooting using the wiring schematic. So Stone Age, simple, and quite enjoyable to own and maintain. So I guess I'll do a riding video at some point, but just want to give you an update, and we're running a little long. So yeah, if you like this content, yeah, shoot me a comment below and let me know what your experiences are on this bike. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.